Good morning students and welcome to the class. We are doing the chapter Our Country India in Geography. So all of you take out your geography book, and under this chapter we were discussing the physical division of the country in the previous class, and in this regard we have discussed about the Himalayas, and we have seen that the Himalayas can be divided into three parallel ranges. The first is the Great Himalayas, or it is also called Himadri. That is the northernmost part of the Himalayan mountain. And in this Himadri or Great Himalayas, we find the highest peaks of the world are located, like Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga. Mount Everest, which is the highest peak in the world, then Kanchenjunga, which is the third highest peak in the world. So all these highest peaks are located in the Great Himalayas. And then in the south of this Great Himalayas lies the Middle Himalaya or Himachal. And in this Middle Himalaya or Himachal, we find so many hill stations are there, like Kullu, Manali, then Nainital, Dehradun. So all these hill stations are there in the Middle Himalayas or Himachal. And in the south of this Middle Himalayas or Himachal lies the Lesser Himalaya, or it is also known as Sivalik. That is the southernmost range of the Himalayan mountain. Okay, we have discussed up to this, and what we find that in the on the south of this Himalayan mountain there lies the North Indian plains. Okay, so in the north there is Himalayan mountain, and on the southern side of this Himalayan mountain is Great Indian Plain, North Indian Plain. Okay, this North Indian Plain lies on the southern side of the Himalayan mountain, and this North Indian Plain is a flat land. As we know, we have discussed about plain in the previous chapter. Plains are flat and level land, and these are the most suitable land for agriculture and all kind of activities, like for the construction of building or construction of roads, construction of railway lines. Everything is very easy in these plain areas. And what we find that this North Indian plains, this plain is very much suitable for agriculture, not only because the land is flat, but it is also suitable for agriculture because the land is very fertile. Why the land is very fertile? Because this whole North Indian plain is the formation of three main rivers: Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra. So these are the three rivers which have deposited sand, silt and particles of stone in this northern plain, and that is why the plain has been formed by these three rivers only. And the soil of this northern plain is very fertile. This soil is called alluvial soil. The soil of North Indian plain is known as alluvial soil. This alluvial soil are those soil which are brought by rivers and they are deposited in the river basin. Okay, so in this way we see that the North Indian plains are very suitable for agriculture, and the land is flat which is suitable for all kind of construction activity, and that is the reason there is a high concentration of population in these plains. We have discussed this in the previous chapter also, when we were seeing that in plains there is the highest density of population lives in plains only because of the suitability. Okay, and after this North Indian plain, we can see there is Great Indian Desert on the western side of our country. Great Indian Desert. This Great Indian Desert, this lies in the state of Rajasthan. You all know Rajasthan में desert है, so we are talking about that desert only, Great Indian Desert, which lies in the western part of the country. Okay, and in this desert we see the climate is very hot and dry, and the soil is sand. That soil, the sand is very unsuitable for the purpose of plantation or any kind of agricultural activity. It is not possible to do in the sands, and that is why we see that it has very little vegetation. वहाँ पर बहुत कम पेड़ पौधे बहुत कम मिलते हैं because of this sand, and the climate is also very hot and dry. So these are the reasons कि there is very little vegetation in desert. And now we see that on the south side of this northern plain, what lies the peninsular plateau. In this regard, you must know the meaning of peninsular. Peninsular, the main word is peninsula. Peninsula से बना है peninsular. Okay, so this peninsula, what is peninsula? I told you when we started our chapter. I have shown you through the figure also our country India, and in that we have seen that on the western side of our country there is Arabian Sea, and on the eastern side of the country there is Bay of Bengal, and on the southern side of the country there is Indian Ocean. So what we find that India is such a landmass which is surrounded by water from three sides, from western side, from eastern side, and from southern side. So it is surrounded by water from three sides. So this type of landmass which is surrounded by water from three sides is called peninsula. Okay, so this is peninsula, and the landmass which is surrounded by water from all the sides, that is called island. So this is the difference between island and peninsula. Island is surrounded by water from all the sides, and peninsula is surrounded by water from three sides only. Okay, so our peninsular plateau, it is triangular in shape. It is like this. It is triangular in shape, and we see that the relief is very uneven. It's not a flat land because it's a plateau. It is an elevated land. The top is like table like top, but this table like top is not even. बहुत उसमें ऊपर नीचे है. It's very highly uneven, and we see that in this peninsular plateau so many hill ranges and valleys are there, and in this regard one of the more important hills is Aravalli Hill. Aravalli. Okay, Aravalli Hills is the there on the western side, north west में पड़ता है, ठीक है. And this you can see the location. This Aravalli Hills, it is the one of the oldest ranges of the world. Okay. पूरी दुनिया की जो ओल्डेस्ट माउंटेन रेंजेस हैं उनमें से एक कौन है? अरावली हिल्स. एंड अदर देन दिस अरावली हिल्स वी सी देयर इज विंध्या रीजन एंड विंध्या रेंज. There is Vindhya range and Satpura range. These are also mountain ranges, है ना? So in peninsular India, these are the important mountain range: Satpura range, and then Vindhya and Aravalli range, which is the one of the oldest mountain range, and then Vindhya and Satpura range. Okay, and we see that there are two rivers, Narmada and Tapi, which flows from these mountain ranges, which emerge from these mountain ranges only. And these Narmada and Tapi are the west flowing rivers. What do you mean by west flowing rivers? West flowing मतलब जिस river का जो flow का direction है, that is towards the west direction. And these two rivers, Narmada and Tapi, fall in the Arabian Sea. वो अरेबियन सी में जाकर के गिरती हैं और उसमें वो मर्ज कर जाती हैं. ओके, सो दीज आर द टू वेस्ट फ्लोइंग रिवर्स. दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर यू. ओके, एंड अदर देन दिस what we find that on the western side of the Deccan Plateau there is Western Ghat. Western Ghat, what do you mean by Western Ghat? It is also a type of range, mountain range. Okay, so on the western side there is Western Ghat, and on the eastern side there is Eastern Ghat. Okay, and Western Ghat is also known as Sahyadri. Okay, Western Ghat का एक और नाम है, and that name is Sahyadri. वेस्टर्न घाट को हम लोग सह्याद्री भी कहते हैं. ओके, तो वेस्ट में वेस्टर्न घाट है और ईस्ट में ईस्टर्न घाट है. एंड व्हाट वी फाइंड दैट वेस्टर्न घाट इज वेरी कंटिन्यूअस. यहाँ पर जो हमें माउंटेन रेंजेस दिखते हैं वो बहुत कंटिन्यूअस है, इनके बीच में गैप्स नहीं है. देयर इज लैक ऑफ गैप्स. जो भी माउंटेन रेंजेस आ रहे हैं उधर से फ्रॉम नॉर्थ टू साउथ, वो एकदम कंटिन्यूअस है. बट इन द ईस्टर्न घाट वी फाइंड दैट दिस रेंज इज वेरी ब्रोकन. बीच बीच में ये कंटिन्यूअस नहीं है, बीच बीच में गैप्स हैं. ओके, इट्स ब्रोकन ईस्टर्न घाट. सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन वेस्टर्न घाट एंड ईस्टर्न घाट. Western Ghat is a continuous range, and Eastern Ghat we find that gaps are there. It's not even कि एकदम continuously उस तरह से आ रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं होता है, इसमें gaps हैं. And other than this, what we find that our Deccan Plateau is very rich in minerals, as we have studied in the previous chapter. One of the most important utility of plateaus is that they are the very important source of minerals. So like that, our Deccan Plateau is also one of the most important source of minerals like coal and iron ore. All these we get from the Deccan Plateau only. Okay, so this we have done Himalayan mountain, North Indian plain, Great Indian desert, then peninsular plateau, what I wrote earlier, peninsular plateau. Okay, and then this is Western Ghat, this is Eastern Ghat. Now some more is to be discussed. And what is that? on the western side of the Western Ghat, what lies coastal, these are the coastal plains, क्योंकि यहाँ पर क्या है, यहाँ पर अरेबियन सी है ना, और यहाँ पर क्या है, यहाँ पर बे ऑफ बंगाल है. तो these are the coast of India, है ना, COAST. These are the coast of our country, and these coast are यहाँ पर plains हैं बिल्कुल, जो भी वेस्टर्न घाट के वेस्ट वाला पोर्शन है, वेस्ट ऑफ द वेस्टर्न घाट एंड ईस्ट ऑफ द ईस्टर्न घाट. वेस्टर्न घाट के वेस्ट में और ईस्टर्न घाट के ईस्ट में क्या है, प्लेन्स है, एंड इन प्लेन्स को हम कोस्टल प्लेन कहते हैं. इधर हो गया वेस्टर्न कोस्टल प्लेन एंड इधर हो गया ईस्टर्न कोस्टल प्लेन. सो दिस इज द कोस्टल प्लेन, एंड दीज कोस्टल प्लेन आर वेरी फर्टाइल. दे आर यूज्ड फॉर irrigation also, for cultivation also, okay, and for the purpose of cultivation, this eastern coastal plain is more important, because what we see that the eastern coastal plain is broad, है ना, and this western coastal plain is narrow. बहुत वो broad नहीं होता है, वो narrow होता है, okay. And other than this, we see we have discussed two west flowing rivers, है ना. तो mostly जो rivers हमारे डेक्कन प्लेटू में हैं, they are east flowing, वो सब east की तरफ बहती हैं, okay. So the important east flowing rivers are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. ये सभी east में flow होकर कहाँ गिरती हैं, Bay of Bengal में. So you have to remember the names of the river: Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. These are the east flowing rivers, and Narmada and Tapi, these are the west flowing rivers, okay. So we see that when these Mahanadi, Godavari, I am writing down the names: Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. These are the east flowing rivers, and when they fall in the Bay of Bengal, at that time what they make delta. Delta क्या होता है, जो rivers होती हैं वो क्या होती हैं, जब वो flow करती हैं और उनमें जब बहुत स्पीड होता है, तो एट दैट टाइम व्हाट डू दे डू. आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर ऑल्सो ना कि रिवर्स जब बहुत स्पीड से चलती हैं और जब थोड़ा स्लोप होता है, जैसे माउंटेन से जब नीचे उतरती है, तो वो क्या करती है, इरोड करती है. जो भी स्टोन्स के पार्टिकल्स हैं, सिल्ट हैं, उसको वो इरोड करके अपने साथ लेती चली जाती है, और जब वो प्लेन से पहुंचती है तो धीरे धीरे डिपॉजिट करना स्टार्ट करती है. एंड लास्टली जब उसको सी में मिलना होता है, तो उस समय वो क्या करती है, वो जितना कुछ भी लाई रहती है वो सबको वहाँ पे वो जमा कर देती है और वो सी में मिल जाती है. तो जहाँ पर रिवर सी में मिलती है, वहाँ पर क्या होता है, एक ट्रायंगुलर स्ट्रक्चर बन जाता है. जैसे रिवर इधर से आ रही है, दिस इज महानदी सपोज, ओके. दिस I will show you all this figure in your book also, okay. So suppose this river is coming and this is Mahanadi, which is a east flowing river, okay, and now it is going to meet the sea. So how will it meet it? It will, ये दो पार्ट में या तीन पार्ट में बढ़ जाती है और तब जाके ये सी में मिल जाती है. और ये जो एरिया है, यहाँ पर ये जो ट्रायंगुलर एरिया हमें दिख रहा है, वहाँ पर वो सब कुछ अपना डिपॉजिट कर देती है. जो भी सिल्ट है, सैंड है, स्टोन है, वॉट एवर इट इज, इट हैज़ इरोडेड फ्रॉम द माउंटेन्स एंड ऑल. तो यहाँ पर वो ला करके सब कुछ डिपॉजिट करती है, ठीक है. एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड डेल्टा. And this delta which is created by these east flowing rivers are very fertile delta. They are used for cultivation. Okay, and the one of the most important delta is the Sundarban delta. This Sundarban delta is formed by which river? गंगा एंड ब्रह्मपुत्र. गंगा और ब्रह्मपुत्र जो रिवर हैं वो जब हिमालय से निकल कर के प्लेन्स में बहती हुई लास्ट में क्या होती है? दे मीट द बे ऑफ बंगाल, है ना. तो जहाँ पर वो बे ऑफ बंगाल में मिलती है वहाँ पर अपने सारे चीज़ों को वो डिपॉजिट कर देती है और उसी को हम लोग डेल्टा कहते हैं. एंड द डेल्टा फॉर्म्ड बाय द रिवर्स गंगा एंड ब्रह्मपुत्र इज नोन एज Sundarban delta. And this Sundarban delta is very famous for Sundari tree. Okay, and now one more physical structure is left, and that is island. If you see the map of India, you will find that in Indian territory there are two islands. That is, the one island is Lakshadweep and the other is Andaman and Nicobar. This Lakshadweep is in the Arabian Sea. This islands are Lakshadweep is, it's not a single island. There are so many smaller islands. These islands are located in Arabian Sea, and these are coral islands. Coral means what happens that there is a very minute sea creature which is called polyps. These polyps they have a shell. Okay, so these polyps have shell, and what happens, their skeleton and shell both are very hard. They are made of very hard substance. So what happens then, these polyps grow in a very large number, and they also die very soon. So when they die, what happens, that their skeleton are left, है ना, skeleton उनका बच जाता है, and this skeleton is very hard. तो फिर क्या होता है कि skeletons जो बचा हुआ है उसके ऊपर से फिर से नए polyps grow कर जाते हैं, because वहाँ का जो climate है वो बहुत ही suitable है for the growth of the polyps. तो क्या होता है, फिर से वो polyps आगे बहुत ज़्यादा very large number of polyps, फिर वो उनकी वो डेथ हो जाती है, एंड देन अगेन उनका जो स्केलेटन है उसके ऊपर फिर से जमा हो जाता है. ऐसे कर कर के एक पर एक बहुत सारे स्केलेटन जमा हो जाते हैं, और इसी से एक आइलैंड का फॉर्मेशन हो जाता है, जिसको हम कोरल आइलैंड कहते हैं. जो हमारा लक्षद्वीप है, दैट लक्षद्वीप इज अ कोरल आइलैंड. ओके, एंड इस कोरल आइलैंड में जो है कि ये केरल के कोस्ट के किनारे में है. ठीक है, हमारा लक्षद्वीप. एंड हमारे बे ऑफ बंगाल में एक और आइलैंड है, एंड दैट आइलैंड इज नोन एज अंडमान एंड निकोबार आइलैंड. ओके, एंड दिस अंडमान एंड निकोबार आइलैंड इज इन द साउथ ईस्ट ऑफ द mainland of India and in the Bay of Bengal. Okay, and we see that we should know about one of the natural calamities, and that is tsunami. What is tsunami? You must have heard about tsunami. What happens when there is an earthquake in the floor of the sea? That earthquake causes a very, very huge sea waves. Okay, and this huge sea waves which is generated because of the earthquake in the sea floor is known as tsunami. Okay, so this tsunami, there was tsunami came in the year 2004, and this tsunami has a very devastating effect on India. The our Andaman Nicobar island, that was badly affected. The state of Tamil Nadu was also badly affected by this tsunami. So this tsunami has a very devastating effect on the people of India. Okay, so now we have completed our chapter, and now we will see in your book, because there are maps which are very much needed to be discussed. Okay, so we will see in the book. Okay, so this is your chapter, our country, India, and you can see the map of our country. This is the map of India, and in this map you can see the neighbors of our country: Pakistan, then Afghanistan. You can see Afghanistan also shares land boundary. This is the land boundary which is shared by Afghanistan and India. And then China is there, then Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. So these are the 7 countries which share land boundaries with India. Okay, and other than these 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and we see that other than these 7 countries, there are two island countries also, which are the neighbor of India, and these island countries are Sri Lanka and Maldives, and they do not share water land boundary, but they share water boundary with India. And now this is the political map of India. In this political map of India, you can see the different states which is given in the map. This is Jammu and Kashmir, though now it is not a state, it has been divided into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. है ना? I told you yesterday, and these are different states of India. This is Rajasthan is the largest state area wise. Okay, and you can see this is Goa. Goa is the smallest state of the country, and this is the different states. You can see Telangana and Andhra. Earlier, before 2014, what happened that Telangana was a part of Andhra Pradesh, but in 2014, Telangana became an independent country. Okay, and this is the physical division of India. These are the physical features of India. In this, you can see in the northern part, Himalayas is there, and this Himalayas is divided into three parallel parts. That is Greater Himalayas or Himadri, and after that there is uh, Himachal, and then there is Sivalik. Okay, and here in the southern side of Himalayan range, there is northern plain. This northern plain is, as I told you, this northern plain is made by three main rivers: Ganga, Yamuna, and Brahmaputra. And this is the Great Indian Desert, which lies in the state of Rajasthan. And this is the Aravalli Range. I told you about this also. And this is the Vindhya Range. And this is the Satpura Range. And you can see this Narmada River uh, is emerging from these ranges only. And this Narmada and Tapi are the two west flowing rivers. They are flowing, you can see the arrow. These arrow indicate that these are the west flowing rivers, and there are most of the rivers are east flowing. Like you can see Mahanadi, which is an east flowing river. Then there is Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. These are the four important rivers which are east flowing river. Okay, and we can see the yellow color. This yellow color is indicating the plateau region, the Deccan Plateau. Okay, and this Deccan Plateau is almost triangular in shape. And what we find that this western side is called Western Ghat, which is full of mountain ranges, and this Eastern Ghat is there on the eastern side of the uh, Deccan Plateau. And on the western side of Western Ghat is coastal areas, western coastal areas. And on the eastern side of Eastern Ghat is eastern coastal areas. These are the important physical features of our country, and these are the two important islands which are the part of India. On the In the Arabian Sea, there is Lakshadweep Island, and in the Bay of Bengal, there is Andaman and Nicobar Island. The upper part is Andaman, and the lower part is called Nicobar. So, this is the physical division of the country. And then we will see this is the picture of Lakshadweep, which is a coral island. I told you about it, how coral island is formed, and then this is about a poem is being written by one of the students, just like you. She is the student of ninth standard, and her name is Aparna Sinha, and she has written a very good poem, and this is about tsunami. है ना? I told you about tsunami also. So this is about tsunami, and I'm reading out this poem, and I will explain you also. Down there in Sumatra started a big quake, but no one had expected the tsunami it did make. Waves, big as mountain, like an army, they charged, and into the South Asian lands with all might they barged. So, this tsunami, which hit India also in the year 2004, it originated in Sumatra, and from Sumatra, it reached the South Asia, and it caused a lot of damage. The waves of the sea were so high like a mountain, and the countries of South Asia were devastated. They were badly affected by this tsunami. Full with fury, they killed people in thousands and destroyed everything from buildings to farmlands. The waves came and went from Sumatra to other places. So what we find that because of this tsunami, so many people were killed, so many loss of property was occurred, and this tsunami that started from Sumatra and it went to so many places, and our country was also one of the place where this tsunami has affected very badly. Okay, and then and left nothing there except empty spaces. People were left without shelter and food. Tourists who had come decided they never should. People lost their loved, near and dear ones. Survival Survivors snatched and fought for clothes and buns. So, what was the condition? We see that everything was destroyed. People were not having food. They were without shelter, without food, and what we find that so many tourists were there at the time of tsunami, and now these tourists were stuck there, and now they are deciding that they should never they should have never come here. उनको यहाँ नहीं आना चाहिए था. People lost their loved near and dear ones. People अपने near and dear ones को खो चुके हैं. They have been died.
So survivors stashed and fought for clothes and buns. People who have survived this tsunami, their condition is also very bad because now they are not having food and shelter, and the survivors are fighting with each other in order to get food, in order to get clothes. So, relief to the affected was being sent out, but now of disease there was a big bout. People feared going near the sea. Could it swell up again, giving no time to flee? The fear installed in them may stay by the days, but in the darkness of sorrow there is still a happy ray. So, what we find that so many relief is given to the people who are affected by the tsunami. They are provided with food, they are provided with shelter and clothes also. But still, there was so many problems. New problems were arising. What happened that after tsunami, because of such a situation arose in the affected areas, that disease started to erupt in those areas. And moreover, what happened that people started to fear, they started to fear from the sea. They did not have courage to go near the sea because they have seen such a big waves like mountains which were emerging from the sea, and which were ready to swallow all the people and buildings and places. So now people are very much fearful to go near the sea because they are thinking that again there might be such tsunami may come, and they will not be able to flee from that place. So they are afraid of going to the sea, going near the sea. So this fear is there in their mind, and it is not very easy to this it was not very easy that this fear will come out of their mind. It will be there for many days. ये जो डर है कि हम समुद्र के पास, हम सी के पास नहीं जाएं, फिर से उसी तरह की वेव्स आ सकती हैं, फिर से सुनामी आ सकता है, ये डर उनके मन में बहुत दिनों तक रहेगा. बट स्टिल there is happy ray, there is ray of hope, and that is why people started again to live their life. So this is about tsunami. It is a beautiful expression, and this you can see it's a drawing of tsunami in which it is shown. You can see it like this. Yes, this is the drawing which is made regarding that tsunami only, how these the waves are there in the sea, which is ready to swallow all the people and huts and everything which was there on the coast of the sea. So, this is all about your chapter, and we have completed this chapter. And now, in the next class, we will start a new chapter.